quality evidences from UAE higher education institutions. So my topic has three major factors. We are talking about service quality, and not only the service quality, but we are talking about the E part, the e-learning part of service quality, and we are talking the higher education sector. This is my outline. I try to be quick because I think I have 30 slides, so mathematically this would mean 2 per minute. So inshallah, I'll try to be very quick. Why I've chosen service quality to be part of my PhD research, because service quality now is very important in most of the organizations for customer satisfactions. And evidences now from most of the research shows that organizations are become very much aware about the importance of service quality, because it has an impact on attracting and retention of the customers. In order, can I move to mine? ممكن نحط هذا باوربوينت؟ لا لا روح هذا أنا ما أدري البي دي إف لو تكرمت هذا لا لا البي دي إف لا بروف البي دي إف اللي تحت لا نعد عليها أيوه وروح أحول ما في إشكالية. So organization has service quality has an impact on organizations' ability to attract and retain customers, and also to achieve financial targets. Why higher education? As part of my study, higher education impacts the prosperity and the economic growth of economies. And in a knowledge-based economy where the knowledge becomes a commodity, higher education has been shown to be essential for country sustainability, with service being a key to such sustainability. There is a report by UNESCO showing that highlighted the importance of higher education in improving countries' competitiveness. And why e-learning? Because now it's becoming a trend of the new era of education. And according to recent research published by EducaUS Center for Analysis and Research regarding the use of information technology in higher education, it says nearly all institutions have a major interest in e-learning, at least at the level of some departments. In UAE, smart education is part of the national vision of the country, and it is emphasized in the UAE Vision 2021 strategic plan as per the Ministry of Higher Education. That's why we are very much interested in higher education, and we believe that although we do have only one university in the country that is pure Smart University, which is Hamdan Mohammed Smart University, but nearly most of other organizations are using partial online. So you can hardly find an organizations that do not use smart services part of their services. That's why, for the sake of for the interest of this study, e-learning, the definition of e-learning has been extended to include any organization that provide online services to its students in providing their academic or support services, as we will be seeing following now. And now we are moving to the e-service quality, and the concept of e-service quality has been introduced by Parasurman after the introduction of service quality or service qual model in 1985. In 2005, Parasurman expanded the domain of service qual to include e-services and developed what's a model called e-squal. However, the model of e-squal started with a very limited domain, which is just websites, and it is not applicable to higher education. That's why the model itself can be used as in theory, but the dimensions of such model must be amended. As the nature of e-learning is continuous, the fulfillment process can continue for days or even months, and hence the suitability of equal remains questionable. There is very important concept in higher education, which is about core vs support services. E-services in higher education can be divided into two major types. Core academic services, and this is what most of the universities are interested in teaching, assessment, giving feedback to students and supporting them with developing learning skills. And the support services, the other services, including tutorials, technical support, access to library, information services, and advising and counseling. We can notice that traditional organizations pay more attention to core academic services. However, in an e-learning era, support service plays a very important role because the nature of the online service brings the idea that students must have more support than the normal comparing to traditional organizations. As we said, officially there is one pure e-learning institute exists in the country. That's why the definition of e-learning institute will be extended to include those other academic institutions and universities that adopt technology in one or more function in delivering their education services. So the scope of this study will include all universities that use technology in providing core and support services. The problem statement that while very little research has been conducted on e-service quality in higher education as a whole, there is almost a total absence of applicable work concerning online environment in the context of higher education sector and the Arab world. So there is the motive of this study that there is a marked lack of studies setting out to define reliable higher education e-service quality scales and its dimensions and measurements. To date, the area of e-service quality has not been investigated much in depth. Some work has been done, undertaken by some researchers, but many of them have many limitations, either in the scope or in the context of the study. And given the increasing interest of higher education institutes in e-learning through this lack of research in defining suitable measurement of e-learning service quality, it appears even more inappropriate. So what is the thing that we don't know? What is the gap in literature or in knowledge that we don't know? We don't know what are the most relevant and reliable e-service quality dimensions in academic core and support services in UAE higher education sectors. So we need to study the impact of those dimensions on student perception of education service. We need to understand the level of importance of different dimensions in UAE higher education sector. And in other words, we need to know which of these e-service quality dimensions are most responsible for driving e-learning service quality in UAE higher education sector. Also, when we talk about the perception of e-service quality in traditional learners, we assume that core academic services may have a stronger impact on student perception of e-service quality, as well as student satisfaction and retention compared to non-academic services. It says that comparing in traditional learning, the core academic services have more impact comparing to the non-academic services. However, we don't know if this is true also in e-learning environment, given that the huge dependency of students on e-learning services. So the aim of this study is to identify and validate the determinants of e-service quality in higher education, understand the level of importance of different e-service quality dimensions that are responsible to drive e-learning service quality in UAE higher education, to understand how core and support e-service influence student perception of e-service quality, and to understand the level of importance of core and support services in terms of impacting student perception of e-service quality. The finding of this study will enable online higher education institutions to obtain valid, reliable, and consistent measurements of quality of education services. This study is expected to contribute to the existing body of knowledge and to fill the gap available currently in the literature. And it will offer opportunities to academicians and administrators to plan and implement appropriate strategies that reflect customer needs and also ensure and improve quality of education in these organizations. Also, the study expected to drag attentions of organizations to the investment, where it should be directed to, and to what strategies, processes, approaches, and tactics should be alerted to. I'll have very quick literature review of the major items mentioned in this study, starting with service quality and ServQual. Although the quality control field existed for many decades, the major attention was paid to the quality of products. Since 1985, the work of Parasurman, Dismal, and his colleagues started. The focus was shifted to the quality of services. In 1985, Parasurman introduced his model called ServQual. I'm not going to go very much in detail about ServQual, but these are the 5 dimensions rater of ServQual: tangible, reliable, responsiveness, assurance, and empathy. This model holds many limitations in terms of the dimensions, although it is now dominant in many of the studies talking about e-service quality. So how can we justify such limitations? One of the major concepts of ServQual is the idea of the gap knowledge, the measurement of service quality. How do you measure a service quality? Parasurman suggested that you do this by subtracting the result of perception minus the actual results of the customer. So this has been taken in so many studies, and from that perspective, we are adopting ServQual. However, we think those 5 dimensions are totally not applicable in the field of higher education. When we talk about service quality, research has been measuring learning satisfaction in higher education, which include teaching quality and satisfaction with the information system. E-learning education, however, has its own characteristics that many measurements of traditional education cannot be applied. So this is another area what we are facing, that the current measurements of when we talk about service quality in higher education cannot really be applied in e-learning or in higher education. Many studies propose different measurement tools for e-service quality. However, many are only applicable for few services, but not e-learning. And the example we gave is e-Squall by Parasurman that was introduced in 2005. It was only focusing on websites, actually the retail marketing services, but of course not the higher education. As the nature of e-learning is continuous, the fulfillment process, this is what was mentioned earlier, so it's repetitive. Most of studies suggested that dimensions for e-service quality use a combination of those ServQual plus additional dimensions. So in order to cover the limitations of the 5 of ServQual dimensions, many studies suggested to add to those dimensions and to remove a few of those dimensions. A trend supports the finding of Dismal in his study in 2002, who concluded that while some dimensions of ServQual are still applicable to e-service quality, there are added determinants that are specific to it, many of which are related to technology.
Assalamu alaikum.
Okay, I'll be very quick on this. The dimension of e-service quality in higher education, as noted in literature, most of the dimensions in e-service quality do include some of the original dimension of ServQual and also additional dimension relevant to the characteristics of e-service quality, and additional dimensions are relevant to specific nature of the field, for example, the higher education. So we are proposing in this study to modify the ServQual dimensions. We will be using part of ServQual as per this slide. We'll be using part of ServQual. We'll add some dimensions that are related to technology, the E part, and additional dimensions will be relevant and specific nature to the field of study, in our case, higher education. Core and support services. As academic services has grasped the attention of most researchers in education and quality field, this focus has been directed to non-academic service, which probably the most complex area and require different method in describing. We are using Herzberg duality theory of motivates and hygiene factors. Herzberg, just to summarize Herzberg theory, he suggested when Herzberg talked about the satisfaction and dissatisfaction of employees, he suggested that the factor involved in producing job satisfaction and motivation are separate and distinct from the factors that lead to job dissatisfaction. It follows that these are two different feelings. The opposite of job satisfaction is not job dissatisfaction, rather no job satisfaction. How I'm going to use this in my study? I'm supporting the importance of non-core services, which are the support services in higher e-service quality. So, as per Herzberg, there are small services that are not very important. However, it will impact the satisfaction of customer. In our case, the learner. I might not have time to. I'm done almost. I won't have time to go through the methodology. But in conclusion, the study ends with 7 dimensions that are identified. Part of them are part of ServQual already, and part are related to higher education, and some relate to the nature of education. These are some of the key references that I've used in this study. The study is not yet complete. The field work has not started yet, but the literature part is already complete. Thank you very much for your attention. And if you have any question, yeah, go ahead. Sure. The methodology is a mix, qualitative and quantitative. A survey will be used, plus a focus group will be taken apart. My population is students of higher education institutes that are part of my definition of online institutes. The sample is almost 384, so I'm taking a sample of 400 just to cover any bad data. So the sample will be 400 students out of the population of UAE, and we think this sample is representing the context of UAE higher education.
Thank you very much for this very good study.
Thank you.
We have challenges there. I want to tell you, there are 2 areas. One is called student information service. This is what we are calling quality service. And the other one is called learning management system.
Okay.
So, as we said, all universities are using them, and the challenges are as follows. For the learning management systems, Moodle, Blackboard, and other, you have content is still a challenge to all universities, okay? Because they want to develop their own content to have an identity. The second is service information system. We are still in a region who believe in stamps and paper. For example, the challenge would be online admission, which cannot be done. The big challenge for you, my friend, will be collection of data. Who will be the university to allow you to give a survey to their students?
Okay. I don't think I didn't go yet to this part, but I'm not really sure that can be a problem because. But just let me answer this part, Prof. I appreciate that. But when I talk about the e-sales quality, I mean the e-learning sales quality in those organizations, I don't dig into the nature of tools that are used in those organizations. For example, I'm not going to talk about the ERP that are used in, for example, the Banner or the LMS's model or whatever, because this is part of another school, which is School of E-Education. I'm here to focusing from the service part. Our student, what are the dimensions that or determinants that make students satisfied with the service that are provided? And there are two types of services I'm focused on. The core, which are teaching, feedback, and assessment, and the non-core, the support services. So if you notice that both of them do not involve the technicalities of the tools that are used. I'm talking about the service provided. I agree with you. I might have difficulties in getting the data, but I believe that the sample and 400 out of the number of UAE higher education is manageable, can be done, I guess. I hope I will not be having problems.
You said also it will have an impact on, it will enable online university. It will enable all universities.
Exactly. Yeah, but yeah, I agree with you.
Because now I want to tell you the new standard of Ministry of Education, Higher Education Division.
It will be unified. I mean, it will be one. Yeah.
It will force all universities to use learning management.
So this study goes in the same line with the thinking of the ministry. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, sure. I added three dimensions, which are, personalization, ease of use, information, and communication. They are four actually. Yeah. Sorry. Right. Mm-hmm. Sure. Exactly, and that's what I want to say. I have to go back and check. I think in the literature of e-sales quality, usefulness is already part of the reliability as definition of reliability. How useful it is from the perspective of the customers. However, I think you are right. And how did I came up with those 8 dimensions? I'm sorry. This is from the literature review, reviewing an extensive list of literature, and we came out of those. So those are the parts that are much repetitive. So if I'm not mistaken, this is already part of reliability. If not, we'll ask it inshallah.
Let's stop. The other question after, because we need to move on to the next presentation, which is a similar topic actually. They are online.
Good.
And that would be, well, we do the setup here. That would be for, I think we, okay, we're ready? They can hear us, right? I'm sorry?
Yes.
Dr. Ahmed, can you hear us?
Yes, of course.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, Doctor, please share your desktop to show the presentation, please.
From which button, please remind me?
You need to click.
I have button application sharing.
Yes, correct. Just click there.
Yes.
Now it will show you a small window. Click on OK.
Application sharing has stopped.
And select desktop. And click start or OK again.
I clicked on start sharing.
Yes.
But no action.
What is it showing there now on your screen?
No. To click again.
What does it show now on the screen? What is it showing?
Application sharing has stopped. Application sharing has
Okay,
stopped.
click on the application sharing again, please. Now select the
And,
desktop.
okay. This.
The first option is desktop.
Yes.
And select share. Yeah. Perfect.
Yes.
Now you can run the presentation
see
and
it now?
you can start. We can see the slides.
Hello, Dr. Ahmed, you're there,
You
right?
can see the slides. You hear me clear? Yes.
This is the next paper.
But I got a message now.
استنى شوي. لا, hold on 1 second, please. Wait.
Sorry.
Just click OK. That's it. You are done.
It's okay now.
Okay. Wait for Dr. Khalid. He will introduce. Then you can start.
Okay.
Okay, now our next paper with Dr. Ahmed Samir and Osama Al-Ansari from Egypt on measuring, this is a very similar topic to what we heard from Tahed Saadi earlier. This would be on measuring students' perception of service quality at e-learning institution, evidence from Egypt. So I guess they are using Egyptian institution as the sample. Please welcome. Dr. Ahmed, and please go ahead. You have 15 minutes for the presentation, please. Then we have 5 minutes for questions and answers after.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Yes. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Ahmed Samir Rojdi from Egypt, Associate Professor of Business Administration and Head of Marketing Department in Faculty of Business, King Abdulaziz University. I'm going to present our paper with Dr. Osama Ansari about measuring student perception of e-ServQual at e-learning institutions, evidence from Egypt. We'll start by the introduction. The rapid use of e-learning at higher education institutions directed attention to focus on studying and measuring the students' perception of service quality using e-ServQual model. E-learning, especially in developing countries, is facing many challenges as it's a new experience for higher education. The research objective is to measure students' perceived e-service quality, which consequently influences students' satisfaction and the future behavioral intention to register in online education at 2 Egyptian universities which introduced e-learning. We used and adapted the proposed instruments of ODO 2011. For the section of literature review, I'm not going in details. I'm just saying the headlines about it, not to waste time in this, because we want to concentrate more in the practical part. The purpose of this section was to shed the light on recent researches that address the e-learning quality and students' experience in the area of higher education. We were focusing on the model of e-ServQual as a measure for perceived quality of online service, student satisfaction, students' behavioral intention, and finally the relationships between quality of e-learning satisfaction and behavioral intention. I just want to confirm that you hear my voice clear. Do you hear me clear now? Hello?
Yes, Dr. Ahmed, we hear you.
You hear me, okay. Now we are moving to research methodology and hypothesis. We will start by the survey instrument and measurement. We developed an email questionnaire to test the relationships among service quality dimensions, students' perception about e-learning quality, student satisfaction, and their intention to proceed with the online classes. The survey based on 5-point Likert scale from 5 strongly agree to 1 strongly disagree. Demographic characteristics are measured by age, education, gender, and years of study. The sample of our research and data collection, we collected data through online survey for undergraduate students who are enrolled in the e-learning programs at 2 Egyptian universities, Arab Open University, Cairo branch, and Egyptian e-learning university. Potential participants were randomly selected and addressed via emails. A total of 357 students participated in the survey. Data cleaning of suspicious response patterns reduced the sample size to 319 observations. 234 students from Arab Open University, which representing 73.4% of the sample, and the 85 students from Egyptian e-learning university, which representing 26.6% of the sample. We have the research hypothesis. As you see, we have 7 hypotheses, but I'm going to explain the hypothesis on the research model as you see. The first hypothesis, the first 5 hypotheses related to the direct relationship between the research variables. We are going to start with the first hypothesis. The first hypothesis is the relationship between service quality dimensions, as we see, assurance, empathy, responsiveness, reliability, website content, and perceived e-learning quality. The second hypothesis, the relationship between service quality dimensions and student satisfaction. The third hypothesis related to the relationship between perceived e-learning quality and student satisfaction. The fourth hypothesis related to the relationship between student satisfaction and behavioral intentions. And the fifth hypothesis related to the relationship between perceived e-learning quality and behavioral intentions. We have 2 more hypotheses, which is related to the mediating test. As we will see now from the second figure, the 6th hypothesis is related to the relationship between service quality dimensions, the 5 dimensions, and perceived e-learning quality. Consequently, we are going to have 5 sub-hypotheses, each one related to each of the service quality dimension and its relation to perceived e-learning quality. The last hypothesis, as we see, testing the mediating role of student satisfaction in the relationship between perceived e-learning quality and behavioral intention. So we will have 5 hypotheses testing the direct relationship between the research variables, and the last 2 hypotheses testing the mediating role or the mediating effect of student satisfaction and perceived e-learning quality. About the statistical method we use the partial least square structure equation modeling, BLS, for testing the hypothesis and to estimate the best model using the statistical software application Smart BLS version 2. Now we are moving to data analysis and the results. First, we will start by the descriptive statistics. As we see from table 1, which is descriptive statistics and the correlation matrix of constructs, the following table shows the means, standard deviations, and the correlation among all variables under study. It's very clear that service quality dimensions, which are assurance, empathy, responsiveness, reliability, website content, this is the 5 dimensions of e-service quality, and perceived e-learning quality, as well as the satisfaction of online students and their behavioral intentions are all on the average value, like the column for the mean, with a small standard deviation as we see in the table. The assessment of measurement model we have in table 2. The following table presents the results of the measurement model. These findings support the internal consistency, reliability of all the measures as the composite reliability, as we see here, is larger than 0.7 for all constructs. The results also indicate that all outer loading are above the threshold value of 0.7, and the average variance extracted, this column, for all variables are larger than the generally accepted value of 0.5. The findings also provided a direct evidence of convergent validity of the constructs incorporated in the model. But we have to notice something. Moreover, one element of satisfaction, one element of this factor, has been dropped from student satisfaction dimension due to having an outer loading below the accepted value of 0.7, and deletion of this item increased the compound reliability and the average variance extracted of its respective construct. The assessment of the structure model. The figure we have now shows the considered structural model, the standardized Bayes coefficient, as we see here, estimates and R-square value of the endogenous latent variables, perceived e-learning quality, this one, student satisfaction, and behavioral intention. From table 3, we can see which hypothesis supported and which not. Regarding the first hypothesis, which is testing the relationship between service quality dimension and perceived e-learning quality, the finding indicated that all service quality dimensions in an e-learning context significantly and positively influence students' perception of e-learning quality. As we see here from table 3, this is the first hypothesis, and its relation to perceived e-learning quality. All are supported. Specifically, the website content, this item, exerts the strongest positive influence on perceived e-learning quality because it's the highest Bayes coefficient, it's 0.294, which supports hypothesis 1E. This is followed by assurance, which supports hypothesis 1A, then responsiveness, which supports hypothesis 1C, then empathy and reliability exhibit lower Bayes coefficient, which supports hypothesis 1B and 1D. Therefore, these findings totally support hypothesis 1. Regarding the second hypothesis, which testing the relationship between service quality dimension and student satisfaction, and we can see it from the table here, the results indicate that all service quality dimensions in the e-learning environment except website content has significant and positive effects on student satisfaction with e-learning experience. Specifically, responsiveness has the strongest positive effect on student satisfaction because it got best coefficient 0.233. This is a high best coefficient, which supports hypothesis 2C, followed by assurance, empathy, and reliability, which exhibit noticeably lower best coefficient, which supports hypothesis 2A, B, and D. Although the website content has the strongest positive effects here on perceived e-learning quality, surprisingly, the results show that the relationship between this dimension and the student satisfaction is not significant, leading to reject hypothesis 2E with the red color here. Regarding the third hypothesis and fourth hypothesis and fifth hypothesis, it's all supported as we see from the table. Now we are moving for the importance performance matrix analysis, EBMA, of BAS modeling results.
Dr. Ahmed,
For the students,
hello?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, let's try to finish it within the next minute, please. And so we can have the time for questions from the learners, please.
I have 3 minutes more, okay? Is it okay?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I will move for the mediation test. The mediation test, we made it on 3 steps. In this section, we focus on testing whether the relationship between service quality dimensions and student satisfaction, and finally the relationship between perceived e-learning quality and their behavioral intentions are mediated by perceived e-learning quality and student satisfaction respectively. In the first step, the BLS BAS model has been estimated without, as we see in the table 6, we are going to test the relationship without the mediator variable of e-learning quality. And we see that the relationship between all service quality dimensions and the student satisfaction, and finally the relationship between perceived e-learning quality and the student's behavioral intentions are significant. Thus, the mediator may absorb some of these effects or the entire effect. In the second step, the mediator variable have been included. Here, we insert the mediating variable. The assessment focused on analyzing whether the indirect effects of all service quality dimensions via the e-learning quality mediator variable on satisfaction, as well as the indirect effect of e-learning quality via the satisfaction mediator variable on behavioral intention are significant. Based on the results in this table, it's clear that all indirect effects are significant. Therefore, we have concluded that e-learning quality mediates the relationship between all service quality dimensions and satisfaction, and the latter mediates the relationship between e-learning quality and behavioral intention. The only exception is the significant indirect effect of reliability on satisfaction, this one with the red color, via e-learning quality. Thus, we have concluded that e-learning quality does not mediate the relationship between reliability and satisfaction. These findings lead to reject hypothesis 6D. At final step, we assessed We assess the strength of these mediations using the variance accounted for as shown in the following table. We have concluded that 30% of assurance effect on satisfaction is explained via the e-learning quality mediator. These findings support hypothesis 6A. As we see, it's all supported except hypothesis 6B. It is not supported because there is no mediation. This is the limitation and the future researches. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Ahmed. Appreciate it. Let's see if we have some. Do you have any questions from the audience? We have Mr. Fahad. He is Saadi. He'll have a question for you.
Thank you very much, Dr.
Yes,
Ahmed, for your presentation. I just want to know, how did you come up with the 5 dimensions of e-cervical?
The 5 dimensions we got, as
Is
I
my
said in
question
the
clear?
beginning. Yeah, it's clear. It's very clear.
Dr. Ahmed?
We got the dimensions from ODO. It's the measurements from ODO 2011, but we changed the tangibility as a dimension of the service quality dimension.
Sorry, Dr. Ahmed, can you repeat, please? We didn't hear you before. Can you repeat the answer?
Okay. We got the dimensions for the e-service quality measurements from ODO 2011, and we changed it. We changed the tangibility by website content, as it's e-learning service, not service quality. It's e-service quality.
Thank you.
Yes.
Do we have any other questions? Or we have another question here. Stay with us.
Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Ahmed.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Thank you so much for the presentation. Really, it was something exciting. You say that you have used the PLS to analyze your data. So could you just explain in brief what's the purpose? Why do you use this technique?
You know, we could also use SPSS, but we are always searching for the updated techniques which help us for more analysis. The analysis we got in this research, or the results, we couldn't get through using or applying SPSS. As you saw, we removed some sub-factors from the dimensions which cannot happen with the BSS technique.
Thank you, it's clear.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Ahmed. We are now going to move to the next presentation. Thank you. We appreciate your presentation.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Dr. Shada, تفضلي. Our next presenter, Dr. Shada, and Hawarna, and her paper on the effects of Dubai Quality Award criteria on customer growth and empirical investigation in UAE.
Assalamu alaikum. First of all, I want to thank all people in this session, and also special thanks for Malaysia. So all group from Malaysia. I study in Malaysia, and alhamdulillah I graduate from IIUM. My paper research today is effects of the Dubai Quality Award on customer growth and empirical investigation in UAE. This is very small part from my thesis, PhD thesis, because in my thesis I measure effects of Dubai Quality Award on organization performance with some mediators. Presentation outline, introduction, literature review, study methods, findings, theoretical contributions, and conclusions. As we know, UAE in 1950 and UAE now, Dubai was fishing village, however now is the best known part of UAE and also in the world. UAE organization coming under competitive environment, strong pressure of ensuring that their performance is up to the standard and believe that applying for any quality award is the key source of competitive advantage. Different models of quality framework awards are implemented in UAE. The Dubai Quality Award is one of many other awards in UAE. Many organizations in UAE receive the Quality Award, but they still lack performance excellence due to the employees' insufficient awareness and understanding of the quality criteria, the employees' insufficient training to improve their skills, and the criteria themselves have weakness sometimes. The organization's strategies do not match with the Quality Award requirements. As we noticed, many organizations are interested to participate in different quality awards for different reasons. Some for reputation, market share, productivity, sales, but not for. But sometimes, but the main result is not for. Yes, continuous improvement. على كيف تسوي؟ Yeah. Okay. Many organizations are interested to participate in different quality awards for a different reason: reputation, market share, sometimes for copying competitive using same approach, but not for continuous performance improvement. Some organizations work hard for a few months to prepare all documents. Then after that, after winning the award, the organization performance, go back, reducing the customer trust in this award. Dubai Excellence Journey, the Vice President, the ruler of Dubai, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, established Dubai Government Excellence Program. One of this program is Dubai Quality Award. Dubai Quality Award is one of many other awards in UAE using EFKM model with the 9 criteria, 5 enablers and 4 results. Why I select Dubai Quality Award in my study? Dubai Quality Award is the first award in UAE, launched in 1994. Over 232 organizations have won Dubai Quality Award from 1995 to 2014 in different categories, giving clear evidence that these organizations are interested in improving quality of performance. We can see on this figure that the organization winners increase.
The interest is growing.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry. The main question in my study, it was, what is the effect of the Dubai Quality Award on customer growth? And this is also the other question, how does each criteria in the Dubai Quality Award enablers affect customer growth? The study objective. The main objective of this study is to identify the effects of the Dubai Quality Award on customer growth during 3 years after receiving the award. Literature review. We can see that literature review in this field seems to be sometimes mixed and sometimes unclear. All of these programs found positive impact of quality awards on organization performance, while others found no impact between quality awards and financial performance. And others found negative relationship between quality awards and organization performance. Large body of literature examine the relationship between quality awards and organization performance. No empirical study investigates the impact of the quality awards on organization performance or in customer growth based on objective data. Also, all of this water measure the relation between quality awards. Okay, most of the studies did not analyze the relationship existing between each specific criteria of quality award and organizational performance. The previous study measured the relationship in general, but my study measured each criteria in quality award with the organizational performance or with the customer growth. The main hypothesis in my study, you can see the red color, so these are the quality award, the relationships with the customer growth, then each criteria enablers with customer growth. So I have 6 hypotheses. This is a study designed by adopting quantitative methods. A study with objective data gathered from the quality award winning organization. Organizations have 3 winning awards, have 3 categories: the quality award appreciation, and the quality award as category award, and the quality award as gold category. Data collection. This study used objective data gathered from following source: Department of Economic Development. Objective data was collected from top managers in different departments. The data was collected from winning organizations. The general statistical analysis method was DLS-SEM. Why I use this one? Because this technical can handle small population size, which in my study 51 organizations. Finding. Out of the 5 sub-hypotheses, all except one, H1E, there is significant positive relationship between process, products, and services aspect of the quality award and customer growth. It was positive but not significant. So we can find this, the red color, it means not significant, the relationship between process, products, and services and customer growth. Theoretical contribution and conclusions. Department of Economic Development of UAE can use the findings from this study to re-evaluate the criteria and sub-criteria, which is, I found non-positive. Dubai Economic Development. Dubai? No. Ah, yes, I see. Of Dubai. Okay. Organization, because I am in Malaysia, this is from Malaysia, so I have to show. This is UAE, not Dubai. Organization managers can assess the impact of each specific criteria of the quality award and make relevant decisions based on the analysis results. The objective of this study was to develop practical guidelines to assess the leaders and managers of different types of organizations in the private and public sector to improve the customer satisfaction, which is strive to increase number of the customers. Thank you and terima kasih. بس أنا لازم كنت أحكي بالpresentation. السلام عليكم. This is today I am going to present.
At the end, there is a positive correlation. Does improve performance or what at the end? I didn't. I got.
The relationship between Dubai Quality Award and customer. بتكون يعني عن بحثي الدكتوراه ولا الحين؟ Okay. Okay. So Dubai Quality Award, the relationship between each criteria in Dubai Quality Award with customer growth. Yeah, all enablers. Only 5 criteria. Not going for the results. So the EFQM model, 9 criteria. 5 for enablers, which I measured and analysis with the relationship with the customer growth. So I make two measure, okay? Dubai Quality Award as award with customer growth. Then each criteria, هاي الجراف مش موجود. This is the first time I make it like this, because I saw in the literature review they are only like awards, not going with the specific criteria inside.
Thank you very much for this good study. What I want to say, in your study is you mentioned that some organizations, they win the award and they go back to normal. What makes, because when you win an award, there are, standards improve performance. This goes without saying. So what happens? Did you analyze why they go back to normal?
Because the objective of this organization only to get award. So they are prepare themselves for 3-4 months, so to fulfill the criteria for the award. Then after that they are going back again the same like they start. So sometimes they are only fill the documents like 75 pages for the Dubai Quality Award to win award. Then after that, but in the truth they are not improved.
Filling the time, filling people. That's what's happening. Okay, go ahead. One question here and from
thank you for the presentation. However, I have here one question. You already have explained and go through the whole presentation, which was very good. The question I have here, yes, you have raised one of the most important issue here, excellence. Because yes, organizations today, they are working hard and participating in the Excellence Award. So, in your point of view, where is the lackness? Where, in your point of view, so where is the gap? What you going to add with your research? So, what will be the improvement? What will be the implication for those organizations in UAE?
I used the unique method, like objective data. Okay, what I mean by objective data, I am not using survey at all, because survey depend on opinions for the people. No, I use the score from Dubai department. They give me the score for the organization that got awards. Then after that, I analyze this numbers. Okay, so it is objective data. I never see this in literature review. Okay, and also each criteria in quality award, I examine the relationship with the other. Yeah. So this is the two, objective data, and also each criteria in award, I examine the relation with the other variable. Okay, خلاص.
Last question, Prof. Ibrahim Sultani.
Okay. Thank you for your presentation. I don't have a question, but I've got some comments because you said it's based on your PhD. There are two issues. I think you can look at the aggregate performance impact of Dubai Government Quality Award criteria on the performance outcomes like market share or the customer satisfaction. And you can look at the individual, you can analyze the performance impact from the individual level analysis perspective. So we've got two levels of analysis. One is the aggregate, one is the individual level analysis. So you can look at it from this perspective. And you need to explain that each of the criterion, to what extent they explain the variation in the customer satisfaction. So you say like criterion 1, 2, 3 impact on satisfaction, but you don't say what the variation in performance, to what extent it explained by each of the criteria. Because each of those 4 or 5 factors impacts differently on the satisfaction. You need to explain the various in performance in satisfaction to what extent relates to each of the criteria. That would help. I think in terms of theoretical contribution, you can look at the institutional theory we got two motives for organization to adopt one of these quality awards. One is which has economic background. We call it efficiency theory. So organization adopt quality awards because it maximizes efficiency. They gain economic benefits. And the second, we call it more has root in sociology. So you apply for the award because you don't like to look different from others. So that's, I think, the second theory that you can make reference when you want to discuss the theoretical contribution. In terms of practice, those issues you raised for the I think, Department of Development to revisit the criteria, I think that would be okay anyway. Okay.
Thanks, Prof. Ibrahim, for the comments. Okay, our last paper for today, Ghada Al-Muhammad Hamdan, on investigation into the moderating effect of governance on the relationship between accreditation and hospital performance. Go ahead.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. As Professor Tami mentioned, my name is Ghada, and I'm a student at Hamdan bin Muhammad University, batch 2013. Thank you very much for your presence, and I have noticed that you are, mashallah, very active listeners, and you were asking very interesting questions. Hopefully that my part will be also interesting to you, and I will end up having constructive feedback from your side, good questions that will help me really in improving my paper. And hopefully it will not be difficult for me to present in front of my supervisor, Prof. Ibrahim Sultani, because he's really providing me with very important feedback on the paper, which helps me a lot on frequent basis to improve it day by day. My topic is investigation into the moderating effect of governance on the relationship between accreditation and hospitals' performance, the case of United Arab Emirates. Looking at my title and on the efforts that I'm putting in it, it's really as if I'm working on three dissertations. One is governance, another one hospital performance, and a third one is I'm working with the accreditation, but also I'm tackling different quality programs at the same time. The outlines, I will have introduction and problem statement, and in that one also I'm talking about our covering as well literature review. I'm going to talk also about the research purpose and objectives, conceptual framework that I'm using, research questions, research hypothesis, methodology, expected outcomes, and the expected limitations of the study. Inshallah. Inshallah. Yeah. Okay. As you have, as you know, most of you know that the report released by the Institute of Medicine in 1999, it has estimated that as many as 44 to 98,000 people, they die in hospitals each year as a result of medical errors. This errors making the death, making it as eighth leading cause of death in the United States. In United Kingdom, here I'm talking about the statistics of medical errors that occurs in healthcare organizations. In United Kingdom also, they have reported in 2014 that about 850,000 adverse events occurs every year. Spain in 2013, France and Denmark also, they have published their reports which also showed similar numbers of medical errors. My study is going to be at the Ministry of Health, which is now the name is changed to Ministry of Health and Prevention. I'm going to take few hospitals, 8 hospitals, in which I'm going to conduct my study. Why I mentioned it at this stage? Because I mentioned something about the medical errors which occurs in US, in United Kingdom, and France. In fact, the case is, I don't want to say that it is similar, but somehow, of course, in any Ministry of Health, the hospitals, as to other organizations, also there is medical errors occurs in these organizations. Okay, but the number I cannot say. It is there, but unfortunately I cannot mention the number of these errors. Now, this growing concern over the patient safety and the public accountability has prompted an introduction of strong quality programs in order to
regulate the mechanisms, regulate the work of the healthcare workers, and improve the patient safety. Now, different quality improvement programs are available, and one of them is the Bay Quality Award, which is presented by Dr. Shada. In addition, also, we have the ISO, which is International Standardization. We have U.S. Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award, European Foundation Quality Award, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Excellence Program, Deming. In addition, also, these are general quality improvement programs. In addition, we have some industry or industry-specific awards, such as the Joint Commission International Accreditation, which is adopted by the Ministry of Health and Prevention. Now, it has been argued that quality initiatives result in meaningful improvements. Many organizations, they are adopting these quality programs, but does it really lead to improvement in the quality of care provided by the hospitals? Accreditation, I'm focusing more on accreditation because it is one of the industry-specific quality programs, and again, as I mentioned earlier, that it is the one which is adopted by the Ministry of Health. So it is one of the influential and key mechanisms to assess and improve the hospital performance and the quality of the care is the Joint Commission, and the growth of the hospital accreditation is attributed in part to the growing public awareness about the medical errors. The patients nowadays, they are becoming more aware of their needs, but they are communicating very clearly with organizations what are their expectations, which is changing, in fact, day by day. Okay, just a simple definition of accreditation: it is a rigorous external evaluation process that comprises organizations' assessment against a given set of standards. And nowadays, the standards, or the edition which we are using at the Ministry of Health, is the 5th one, which is made about almost about 14 chapters, where it has some patient-specific standards as well as organization-wide standards. And recently, we started with the awareness of the 6th one, which is going to be launched, as it was mentioned in the morning, by His Excellency Amin Al-Amiri, as well as Dr. Ashraf, which is going to be launched in July 2017. Now, in the United Arab Emirates, yeah, Albir. Yes. Yeah, this is one of it. Yes. The importance of equality now in United Arab Emirates, the importance of equality has grown in recent years. And, you know, the visionary decision makers at the country here, they started to realize that working on equality is a qualifying criterion for them, and it is a source for competitive advantage for all the business. In addition, as well as it was mentioned in the morning, that by the year 2021, the country mandates all its organizations that has to be accredited against one of the quality programs. Now, again, the question: adopting these quality improvement programs, regardless of what it is, will it really lead to the improvement in the hospital performance and the quality of the care provided for the patients? Most of the studies, you know, they found that quality improvement programs, some of them, they have no effect on the total organizational performance, whereas some of it, they have mentioned that some quality programs, they lead to improvement in not necessarily on the overall performance of the organization, but in certain areas. For example, implementation of certain quality programs or accreditation can improve the documentation of the hospital, documentation of the nursing staff. Some of it can improve the employee satisfaction, some patient satisfaction. Literature review also conducted in 2010 by Bomi et al. Also on the impact of accreditation on healthcare organizations showed that the impact is not consistent. Sometimes it leads to improvement and sometimes it is not. A study conducted also in USA in 2011 on 3,891 hospitals found that the likelihood that the hospitals which was high performance because they were accredited with the JCI. Again, the slides that it shows that we don't have consistent results that really will show that it can lead to improvements in the quality of the care and quality of the processes performed at the hospitals. Because this is also, it's similar, and in the literature here I have showed some of the findings of the researches done on impact of accreditation on patient satisfaction, others on employee satisfaction, some of it as well on the, as I mentioned, specific procedures performed at the hospital. The other topic which is related to the governance. Inshallah. For the governance, according to the Joint Commission International Accreditation 2014 edition, and not only in this, in any quality program, in order really to achieve its goals and its objectives, we have to have good governance support and commitment to the implementation of these quality programs. If I want to go to Joint Commission, from where what do I mean by the governance? It comes from the governing body of the organization, from the chief executives, as well as from the senior managers. In 2014, a study by Harter et al. Assessed that the strength and the capacity of the governance system at the hospital, along with its leadership commitment and support, were predictors of quality improvement during and after accreditation. Now, World Health Organization, in the regional office of the Eastern Mediterranean 2013 report, they found that the Middle East, they are struggling, in fact, with the governance system that they are having. They don't have that strong, robust governance system that will control the quality of the care provided, in particular in the provision of safe care, care standardization, quality improvement, and quality improvement. So it's, in general, the governance is, the strength of the governance and the well-structured governance of these areas is lacking. How we are measuring, a third topic, which is the hospital performance. Initially, or let's say traditionally, they were always measuring the organizational performance of the hospital performance based on where it is in fact measured on based on financially. Whereas others, for example, like Kaplan and Norton, in 1992, they introduced the balanced scorecard in order to measure the organizational performance. They were tackling like employees' values, such as employees' retention, employees' satisfaction. Other one is customer values, customer satisfaction, and learning values, quality improvement, and time to develop new services, for example, in addition to the financial indicators. The Nabedians, he introduced another way of measuring the organizational performance. Sorry, am I fast? I feel that I'm running. You have really 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Because this will lead to that. No, we cannot see the others if you are going to do that. Okay, by... Okay. Okay. Don't worry about it. What you have, what you have. Okay. Now, based on the organizational performance that is being used everywhere at the Ministry of Health, what we are doing and how we are measuring the organizational performance, we are following the Nabedian model, which is focusing on structure, process, as well as outcome. The gap in the literature that, the gap in the literature that we don't have. We have studies, but unfortunately, these studies are not consistent, and some of it that's not available at the country. And because Ministry of Health, now they are working on these accreditations, we are almost done with 25 organizations, but no research is done in the country and in the Ministry of Health really to see the impact of accreditation on the organizational performance. And none of them so far studied the mediating factor or the effect of governance on the impact of accreditation on organizational performance. So that is why I'm taking this, I'm doing this study. The research objective is to analyze the quality performance on the hospital accreditation and to investigate mainly which extent the leadership and governance practices moderate the effect of accreditation on organizational performance. My model, these are the research questions as well as the hypothesis. This is my model, the conceptual framework I'm working on. Okay, which is قطعت نفسي لاحظت ان قطعت نفسي عم بأجر لي قاعد هيك وانا I'm running. Okay, so this is my model, hospital accreditation. Okay, it will positively they see that it will positively improve the quality performance of this organization. How it is going to improve it is by decreasing the medical errors, decreasing the readmissions, patients' readmissions to the organization, decreasing the number of patients leaving without being seen and without medical advice. It improves the patient satisfaction, employee satisfaction, decreases employee turnover, and decrease the mortality rate. How this is affect? This is one of the hypotheses. The other one is the leadership, governance capacity, and the practices moderate positively the relationship between hospital accreditation and quality improvement. Okay, hypothesis, there is a positive relationship, inshallah, between hospital accreditation and improved quality performance at the hospital, leadership, governance capacity, and the practices positively moderate the relationship between hospital accreditation and hospital quality performance. The methodology that I'm going to use is I'm going to use cross-sectional analytical, inshallah, design, because of to fulfill the research question, the objectives and all. I'm going to have it mixed methodology of quantitative as well as qualitative methodologies will be used. I'm going to use, inshallah, survey that is targeting the employees, how they are perceiving the impact of accreditation, the impact of accreditation on the organizational performance. In addition, also another survey will be targeting the governance body of the organization, and the governing body. I'm going to tackle the top management leadership at the organization, plus also the different levels in each organization, in addition to the semi-structured interviews and focus the groups based on the results of my survey. Okay, why I have selected this? This is one of the, unfortunately I'm not supposed to mention the name of the hospitals. I'm going to take 8 out of the 17 hospitals which Ministry of Health is having. I'm going to select 8 hospitals. These 8 hospitals, 4 of them accredited hospitals and 4 of them non-accredited hospitals. The accredited ones, for both of them, I'm going to collect the data, which is, as I mentioned, medical errors, mortality rate, satisfaction. Okay, for all of them between 2015 and it's going to be till 2016, inshallah. And accredited organization, I'm going to compare them before and after getting the accreditation. This is how I'm going to develop my survey. Okay, and the data collection. Data analysis, as I'm going to go for the reliability and validity testing, I'm going to use, inshallah, SPSS. Okay, the setting, as I have mentioned, out of the 17, 8 hospitals are going to be taken. The hospitals, try to my level best to select the hospitals which really are of similar in terms of nature of the patients. They are serving similar bed numbers and yes, and similar approximately specialty and the bed numbers. Yes. Okay, my sample is going to be, as I mentioned, hospital employees. Total in these 8 hospitals, I have around 4,000 employees. I try to have my sample enough so the data can be generalized. Okay, simple only the limitations which I'm expecting to find is the less number of hospitals, because as I mentioned, this is only targeting, it didn't target any private sector, only Ministry of Health, and I have only 17 hospitals, and out of them, so far 5 hospitals only are accredited. 4 of them I'm going to include in my study because the 5th one is different specialty, which is maternity hospital. I cannot consider it with the other which I'm taking, which is general treating acute cases. In addition, this will affect my generalizability of the findings, plus also some of the data that I'm going to take is, I can say, critical data, which is dealing with the number of mortalities at the hospital, dealing with the medical errors, which is not easy at all to be shared, not only in Ministry of Health, but in others. But alhamdulillah, and I have approval to conduct this study by His Excellency Minister himself. He told me, go ahead, we are going to share with you all the data that you need. But alhamdulillah, for that I have the support, and inshallah I'll be able to get this data. In addition, also that some data, that I'm going to go back in 2005, hopefully inshallah I'll be able to do it. خلصت إن شاء الله. Getting the data from the period before accreditation, it might be also a challenge for me. Okay, these are some of the references that I have used. Thank you very much for your patience, and hopefully my topic was clear to you. يمكن because I was very soft.
But the only issue I have, there's a mix a little bit. I'm worried about the sample size. Would be your sample size before, like you said, 4,000, or is it the hospitals is the sample size?
Both of them. My sample size is going to be first of all the number of hospitals that I'm taking, in addition also to the number of employees and the leadership that I'm going to do. So the employees.
Yeah, I'm saying number, please. Is it or is the hospitals? That's really.
The employees in these hospitals. So I'm going to take exactly 4,000 is the total employees.
What data are you collecting from the employees?
Now I'm structuring my survey, and what I'm going to discuss. I don't know if my voice is clear. In fact, I'm still in the process of structuring my survey. In that one, I want to measure how they are perceiving the impact of accreditation on the organizational performance. In addition, also how they are perceiving the role of the governance in these organizations and their role in the accreditation process. So do they have a role or not? Is it the same, going to be the same between the accredited and non-accredited hospitals, or it is going to be different? The role of this leadership, is it the same before and after accreditation, or how it is? So this is the data that I'm going to collect from the employees themselves. In addition, also another survey from the governance, from the leadership themselves, on their role on the accreditation. تفضلي.
Okay, it's very interesting, Dr. Ghadir. Now, this is a question, inshallah. Now, which is the moderator? I know mathematically both are the same, but what is moderating what? Is it that accreditation would moderate the effect of leadership on hospital quality, or is it that the leadership would moderate the hospital accreditation effect on quality? Which way are you looking at it? Okay, because there is quite a lot of research on how leadership affects quality. And there's some research also about the moderating factors and how that might alter the relationship. You're just looking at it from a different angle. It's not, as far as I know, they're mathematically both the same. So if you get a significant effect, you get it, whether the moderator is effective leadership or whether it is the hospital accreditation. But I think the mechanism of what we're looking at would differ. So if you're thinking of leadership, then it will be the leadership effect on quality and how that would be improved or changed by the accreditation program. So just a suggestion. I'd like to hear your view.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Anna. Thank you all. This concludes our session for today.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
بيروح على جسمه وبيع على مطعم وبعدين بيبيع يروح علينا اللحم شاوي يروح علينا البشاوي
الناس هيلثي بيروحوا مع الابيتايز عشان هيك مش حبيبي اكيد ان شاء الله شكرا كثير لك نعم يدخل بعدين
ابراهيم قفاني. مين؟ الدكتور احمد. احمد عقود في إزاء دكتور احمد عقود في إزاء في Hello? Yes. لا لخمس next question we are clearly the that's no هون في هاي احمد دكتور احمد عقيل ايوه انت الشيء هنا خليت تكنول ايفالويشن صوبتهم الى تعملهم موديل ايفالويشن تعملهم لا انت تعديهم على اساس الداتا انا اللي شفتهم او تعطيها للدكتور هذا كل شيء اوكي No, I'm not yet.
When, my friend? Which one? Victor? Thank you. I'm ready.
This Apple may got.
No. My voice is okay now.
Actually, I'm shooting. Apple or this is fine or Apple make?
Hello? Hello?
that were coming from our colleague universities, and we would like today to start this session, which will be on quality management. So the first presenter is Dr. Mani. He is from the Higher College of Technology in Al Ain. So I would like, he's going to present his paper as a proposed model to encourage innovation through a symbiotic relationship between institution and industry. Somebody from Algeria. Yes.
And this is an opportunity for us to learn from each other. I'd like to thank the university for giving us an opportunity to come and deliberate. So over the next 15 odd minutes, I'd like to put forth a model which I was trying to think over for quite some time in order to create innovation right from the formative stages of a individual's life and then getting through different stages of life and finally culminating into universities and societies. So there is no rocket science involved as far as this is concerned. What I'm going to talk is pretty much common sense and simple tasks which we need to put in place. And it basically came over the years. I was trying to think why innovation is being spoken about a lot. But when it comes to actual implementation of innovation, it only happens in parts of the world. Like when we talk about innovation, we remember about Silicon Valley, we talk about startups there, we talk about incubation setups there, ecosystems there. Why doesn't it happen in our part of the world or in rest of the world other than the United States? So probably it has to do with many other things which we tend to neglect. You know, this was an accumulation of experience I had in the GCC while working in different parts of GCC as well as in South Asia. So basically the contents of my presentation would go through this. These are the things I would touch upon. So as you all know, innovation is something which is not a single person's game. An individual cannot think about innovation. It needs collaboration, and you need to bring in a lot of stakeholders from different aspects of life who are directly and indirectly related to innovation or related to development of new processes and systems. For innovation to happen, they talk a lot about what's going on in the industry, and for that, ideas should start coming from the institutions. When I say institutions, people tend to think it's only the secondary level of education or the tertiary level of education. Well, if you try to compare the models which is existing and which has been proposed by different researchers in the past, they have pointed out very clearly the fact that it doesn't only happen at the tertiary or the secondary level. It starts from the formative years. That's what I have emphasized in my model. And of course, the stakeholders' role are quite vital. When I say stakeholders, it's not only the direct stakeholders I'm referring to, that is the students, the teachers, the researchers, and the industry captains. It has to do more and it has to bring in more stakeholders in the form of society, in the form of government, different non-government bodies, and so forth. So basically, when you see the zero-sum game of innovation, it needs to have a collaborative, a symbiotic approach between different stakeholders. Talking about the literature I have gone through, I've gone through quite a few literature. Of course, I've highlighted only 3 of those. One study which was quite interesting was the third one, that is the triple helix model of interaction between university, industry, and government interaction, which was given by Etzkois in the year 2016.
Now over here they developed a very simple model just to bring across different stakeholders on the same platform, share ideas, and come out with some innovative and novel ideas which were later on commercialized in the form of products and services, which I found quite interesting, and with little bit of customization can also be implemented in this part of the world or in any part of the world for that matter. Now the question is, how did this idea germinate? From where did it start? Why I was thinking that there should be a model which touches upon different stakeholders of the process of innovation. It was basically when I had the work placement experience with my senior colleague, Dr. Omar Badran, who is the coordinator of business in Alain Women's College, and also doing the on-job training with my students in Sultanate of Oman, and of course my final placements and the summer internship experiences in parts of South Asia. So I was just thinking why everybody talks about innovation, but when it comes to implementation, I mean, the result is not encouraging. It has to do with something, you know, which is a missing link in the whole chain of events. Now, coming straight away into what I have thought about my model. Basically, my model had different stages. The first stage which I tried to think about was ESS, that is elementary, secondary stages. Well, if you see why innovation is something which happens only in parts of United States of America, we talk about Silicon Valley, we talk about Twitters, we talk about Facebooks, we talk about, you know, dropout starting companies like Microsoft. I mean, what's there which we don't have in rest of the world? Probably it has to do with the thinking process the people have there right from the formative years. So it definitely has to do with the culture which is existing. So innovation is not only, you know, putting in place the process, putting in place the system. It has to have a cultural aspect. So innovation-based culture at the elementary level of education probably is something which rest of the world is lacking as compared to, let's say, the developed part. Primarily because if you see the learning approaches which are followed in rest of the world, although it's gradually shifting from the rote-based learning or memory-based learning where you know, try to memorize, you deliver, and then you tend to forget, and more into an innovative kind of learning, innovative kind of assessments where people are tested not only on the basis of retention, but on the basis of exploring, customizing, and implementing in a newer way. That's where, you know, the elementary education comes into play, and that's why I thought, you know, elementary education play a very important role in developing culture. The second thing is when a student moves from the elementary level to the secondary level, there has to be a connect, and the process needs to be continuous, which starts from the elementary level, goes into the secondary level of education. Now, for that to happen, there should be a continuous momentum happening either in terms of learning or through assessments. Okay, so therein comes solving societal issues through citizen-driven innovation. For example, if I take the social policing, which has been started by the police in Abu Dhabi and also in Dubai. Social policing is a novel concept which has caught the attention of people in many parts of the world. Now imagine when every citizen in the society acts like a policeman. I mean, it will reduce or it will drastically bring down the number of crimes or accidents happening. So this is a novel concept. I mean, it does not require any kind of laboratory, it does not require any kind of systems or setup. It's basically creating awareness. So probably this kind of awareness needs to be generated at the elementary level, then it needs to be taken over to the secondary level, whereby the students pursuing different streams of education has to solve those problems from an innovative standpoint. For example, let's talk about different diseases which are coming up. You know, let's say a few years back we had a problem regarding SARS, okay, which was spread all across Asia. So doctors were finding it difficult to come out with a vaccine. What if, the biology students who were studying in the secondary level were given this topic and asked to deliberate or brainstorm, probably they could have come out with the new ideas. So that is where, the cultural shift needs to happen at the societal level by solving societal issues. And of course, creating a society where innovation in dealings, in relationships takes center stage. So innovation will not happen overnight. Innovation has to be part of the family, has to be part of the culture, has to be part of the society. So everything we do, right from the morning up and brush our teeth and go to office, drive down, you know, in a jammed or cramped road. You know, we need to find out innovative ways to solve problem, and therein, you know, lies our mental setup. Coming to the next stage, it's basically linking the secondary and tertiary education. The first stage was basically trying to have a correlation between the primary and secondary. Then we carry the baton forward and we go to the secondary and tertiary level. Now, the culture which has germinated at the primary stage moves over to the secondary stage, and the pattern of education, as I was emphasizing, will again, you know, give importance to assessments, will give importance to innovation, whether it is the education, whether it is the assessment. The advancement of stages means the problems will have to be a little more complicated. For example, a primary level student would be given a problem which is much simpler than that of a secondary level student, and the tertiary level student will be given even an advanced level of problem to solve. Now, those problems I'm talking about may not have direct implication with a course of study. It will have direct implication with quality of life of people, changing the societal aspects of people, changing the mindset of people, because this is what innovation is all about. Innovation is about making change in people's life. So unless we don't do it at the societal level, at the individual human level, probably there will be a mismatch. So basically, the research has to be conducted on social and national issues, and that's what the government is trying to emphasize in the country. All across, they're trying to, you know, come out with various issues which needs to be addressed through research and development. The funding has to be done through partnerships, in the sense that it should not only be the government who is sponsoring every initiative regarding innovation. Innovation should come from every sphere. It should come from the private sector. It should come from an individual. And then we have a huge fund which can be used, you know, for different types of programs. So basically, innovative solution to all kinds of problems should be the backbone of the research. You know, that will play a permanent role. And the objective, as I said earlier, has to be to solve the problems. The last stage of my solution is the different stakeholders should come on the same platform, and they should identify the critical issues. They should join hands, collaborate and cooperate. And most importantly, in this stage, you need to check the viability, whether the idea you have come out with is viable, whether it can be implemented realistically, what are the challenges, can it be commercialized? You know, because even the silliest of ideas in the world, if they pass the viability testing, they can be commercialized, and loads of money can be earned from that, which can be pulled back into the society. And of course, rewarding the participants. Now, whether an idea is being commercialized or it's viable, every new idea, every single idea needs to, you know, get a pat on the back so that it becomes a culture for the society to think innovative, to think of innovative ways. So this is how the flow goes. It starts from the level I have just talked about, and finally leads to applied solutions. When I say applied solutions, these are basically practical problems faced by all of us in our day-to-day life, and there is the chain of feedback going in. So it's a very simple model I have thought about, and let's see whether it can be implemented. I'll try to work with Mr. Omar Badran and see the feasibility part of it. Finally, when we talk about the recommendation on the basis of my studies, because we need to have a continuous momentum going into it, and there should be rapid developments happening. Therefore, we need to benchmark it with the local best practices, regional best practices, as well as the global best practices, so that, you know, there is a continuous improvement happening, and TQM should be the driver. Total quality management should be the driver for, you know, laying emphasis on customers, on end users, on different other stakeholders. And as I finally say, there should be a synergistic, symbiotic relationships happening between all stakeholders. It should be a win-win proposition for all. So thank you so much for listening to my presentation. That's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this and very clear. When people speak to others, they take in mind that we have to understand what they are saying. Yes, Dr. Mani presented a simple model for creation an environment of innovation. So I like the way he spoke that we should also build relationships. This is my job, sir. If you want to cooperate with Hamdan University, I welcome you. That we can collaborate and we can do the work together, because we have a noble cause, which is creating an environment for innovation. The only question I have to tell you is that we talk of other countries. You talk of the US and Europe and developed countries. You know, innovation is related to research. And research is creation of knowledge that drives economic growth. Well, we have to establish this link. Now, still, as you said, it's government to finance research here. And multinationals and businesses still do not trust universities. They do not trust us academicians. They see us as teachers. They don't think that we create knowledge. Thank you. Do you have any questions, please?
Dr. Mani, just a question on the TQM part of your recommendations. Could you elaborate more on what exactly you're thinking, the role of TQM in such a model? Just briefly, please. I don't want to take...
Thank you, Omar. Basically, when I was trying to talk about TQM, it's about continuous improvement or continuous development. It's not that you develop an innovative idea and you stop therein. Because, you know, the world around is so competitive, then there are imitators coming in with a better model or a better alternative. So whatever has happened, that's okay, but we need to look for continuous progress and ensure that there is end user satisfaction. So the customer of today might be satisfied with the iPhone 6s. He may not be so happy with iPhone 6s tomorrow. He would like to have a new product. So therein lies, you know, total quality management, increasing in terms of quality of the product, services, as well as the quantity. Thank you. Pleasure.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Mani. The second speaker will be Dr. Mohammed Nasser from Sharjah University, and he will be speaking on the link between some human resource management functions and the importance of implementing innovations, radical instrumental for being an entrepreneurship. You will speak? Okay, sorry. Sorry, we have an online guest that we will give him priority from Algeria. It's Al-Arbi. It's Dr. Al-Arbi Khadija. No, we don't have Prof. Sami. Where is Prof. Sami? Yeah, sorry. I think he spoke. Dr. Ahmed Sameh? Dr. Ahmed Sameh, do you hear me? Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Ahmed? I think he spoke. Pardon? Dr. Ahmed? Dr. Ahmed? No, this is... Dr. Ahmed? I cannot hear me. Huh? Can you hear me? Dr. Ahmed, can you please open the mic? Okay, speak.
Prof. Sameh, please press talk button and start. Prof. Sameh?
Okay, I would like Dr. Mohammed Nasser to speak till we sort out the technical problem. Thank you.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, it's open. This one.
Yes, I can hear you now. I see my slides, right, and I can start now.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, should I start?
Good afternoon, everyone. It's my honor to participate in this paper and in this event today with the Hamdan University. Yes, thank you. Yeah. Okay. I would be different from others' presentations because I'd like to just measure what we have talked about for the 9 previous conferences. So I started to do something which related to measuring some functions, which started with the human resource management functions, and measuring them in UAE, United Arab Emirates organizations. So please follow me. I will go to show you how I did it in this paper. Now, my topic is the link between some human resource functions and importance of implementation. Of implementation innovations, radical, and why radical and incremental. We'll describe it later. For being an entrepreneurship. Till today, some practitioners, some professional people become confused between what is the meaning of creativity, innovation, entrepreneurship. How we can define the difference between the 3 common concepts. Now, creativity brings new ideas. Innovation implement these new ideas by producing a product. And I think this point is related to the students. Now, who will apply the innovations? Only the entrepreneurs, the vanguards, the pioneers. Not anyone have this power and this ability to take the risks. Okay? Now, by going to the next slide, I would like to just start with the question. The world has changed. This is fact. Do you have any other opinion? No, sure no. Is it to the better or to the worse? What do you think? What do you think? It depends on. Let us see the video and then we'll go to the rest of the slides, okay? What did you find? Positive or negative? Yes. Yes. So it depends on. It depends on. And yeah. And we are doing our choices, by the way. We are make it positive and we are make it negative at the same time. Okay? Now, let us summarize what we have seen in the video. Simply, and we can summarize also the whole conference in this slide. Customers are looking for more products. Next, employees are requesting compensation, remuneration, benefits, whatever. You care about bonuses. I like it. Organizations either, now hear the role, confront, faces the challenges, or get out from the market. Now, before a couple of years, or maybe 3-4 years, I wouldn't, if someone asked me to prepare a presentation, I would not put this part here. But today, and based on what we have seen yesterday and today in the conference, nowadays, innovation has become a must. It's not cosmetic. Be careful. Okay? So, based on this steps, we reach to the, you have to work on the idea. You should introduce the new and modern products to run across the future. Otherwise, we'll see His Highness words, what it means for us. Okay? Now, how? By innovation. We can summarize the whole presentations in this slide. Now, first to idea, you should be the first. Not just for idea, and be careful, okay? Because some people, they are obsessed with the ideas, but in implementation, they are zero. So they are nothing. Plus, first to the produce. You should be able to transfer your ideas to our products. Okay? Plus, not only. Now today, I hear a lot of people, a lot of organizations, they said, they announced, we have innovations. Have you evaluated your innovation in the market? Why you are saying that? Why you are throwing these words? If you are the first one in the market, you are right. You have innovation. If not, don't say it. Otherwise, you will be trustless, surely. Okay? So, by whom? Who will put this innovation on the shoulder and go to implement it? Entrepreneurs. And only entrepreneurs. Okay? Next. Now, if we go to see the development of MENA, Middle East and North Africa, and GCC, and we should focus on GCC more than others. Sorry for that, okay? But we should. We need to, because we are living here. Are you with me? Sure. Okay. Now here we have the population, the growing of population from a long period, 1960 till 2013. We see approximately a dramatic increasing. Now let's see the second paragraph and the population, distribution of population between the countries of GCC. We have seen there is a different percentage of increasing, but it doesn't mean, okay? They have the same rules, the same procedures, so the same future, the same components, everything. Now here, it's a warning for us. Please read together. We should read the statement by His Highness. Beginning, tell in a heartbeat their choice. He is sending a message for all organizations. Okay? Their choice is simple. Innovate or become irrelevant. What does it mean? Expired. I saw a similar word by American author. He said innovate or evaporate. A similar word. Okay? So my definition for the innovation, let's be more practical now. Innovation could be defined, it's the first to the idea, first to produce, and first to the market, which applied by entrepreneurs. Now, we are starting our study, or my study actually, from the inspiration of UAE government, because it's illogic to do something which government going against it. Okay? Now here we have UAE launched a national innovation strategy by the UAE agenda in 2014, and now we are in 2017, so we should be careful about the time. The time is running. And we have 7 sectors we should implement the innovation on it, or the innovation, it should be located within the 7 sectors. Renewable and clean energy, what we have done. Water, okay, what we have done. Number 3, transportation. Technology, famous technology. I have seen a lot of papers and presentations about technology. But the rest, we need the rest. Okay. Now, space, healthcare. My sample is coming in healthcare, pharmaceutical organizations. Space research. Now, you heard a couple of days before His Highness Prime Ruler of Abu Dhabi, with His Highness Sheikh Mohammed, they spoke about the space studies and research, and we are going to send something, a rocket to the, where? Mars? Yes, you're right, Prof. Okay, so don't ignore this point. And then the education. But the education is the most important thing. Okay. Now here we have environment. Don't ask something without a relative environment. And environment is related to some factors which become dominant to these factors. Regulatory framework, enabling services, technology infrastructure, and investment. And thanks God, UAE has the 4 components or the 4 factors. Our role is coming here. What we are going to do in these sectors. Okay. Now, based on loyalty to my university, and with total respect to Hamdan Muhammad University, now achieving the UAE innovation inspirations. Okay. What we have read, I have to apply. Now, University of Sharjah engages in R&D, research and development, and innovation. How? In both sides. Investing money to produce new knowledge and technologies. Okay. Investing in R&D, and then by this investing, the money will come. But later, don't ask me today to invest in innovation and next year ask me about the results. Please. We need the time.
In innovation, we need time. Okay? Time. Now, what we do, and what I suppose other universities are going to do, education, they should transfer it to talented manpowers for UAE in a different sectors. R&D, research and development, our conference is related under research and development. It should be result in advanced applications and structures. Otherwise, it would be useless. Number 3, our knowledge, it should be transferred to innovations and new innovations, and then create a people who are obsessive with being an entrepreneurs. Okay. Now, human resource management. We reach to the part of my paper. Second part. Human resource management is considered as a milestone of successful innovation and entrepreneur within modern organizations. Very nice words. Very nice statements. Theoretical statements. How you can prove it? It's a question for me and for you also. Now, we have up-to-date functions. Today, the functions of human resource management have been amended, adjusted. Okay? We have 6 areas of functions: recruitment and selection, career planning, research and training and development, employees engagement, the most up-to-date, rewards, benefits and recognition, and last one, performance management. Now, today the groundwork for innovation and being an entrepreneur, organizations have to accept and make it easy to keep developing. Don't ask, don't say, don't ignore, don't say no. Okay? Confront harms, not hide it. Face the problems. If you are working in the HR, you should face the problems, not to hide it, not to keep it down, not to close it, not to put a box on it. Promote ideas, not transporters. And we have a thieves of ideas. Ignore them. Search about the source of these ideas. Okay? And then collaborate with the peers and don't ignore others because you are living in the environment, and accept fails. Whatever the result, accept it. Okay? Now, here is the main slide for innovation and for HR relationship. Now, I would not make it complex for you, but we have a different scales of innovations. Please consider it in your mind. We have scales 1, 2, 3, 4. Administrative versus technical, rational versus communication versus disciplinary, problem solving. Then number 3, competence enhancing versus competence destroying. And then the most famous one, radical and incremental. 3 minutes, okay. And this is the core search of my paper. Okay, I'm focusing on one aspect, on one scale, just one scale, but we have other scales, and the area is open for you to search in it. Okay. Now, based on this scale, we have 4 types of innovation. One of them products. One of them, be careful. Okay, product innovation, process innovation, position innovation, and paradigm innovation. Here, what I have tested, the relationship between the perceived innovation, which is a radical and incremental, plus 2 functions of HR, which I have showed to you earlier in the previous slide.
research, training, and development, and employees engagement. And this study, by the way, took from my side 1 year. It's not an easy to measure and put questionnaire and distribute and okay. Fine. What we have did, what we are doing, what we should do. Now here, based on the systematic approach and theory, and based on our skill, radical and incremental, we should care about the voice of the environment, and then we should build our innovation master plan based on the mix between the 3 components and processing. We should reach to the output. Output is you, is me, human beings, which means in the new organizations, fewer is more important than the bigger. Okay. Now, questions and data collection quickly. In order to accomplish the aim of this paper, data was collected from population of 5 Emirates pharmaceutical organizations, healthcare, which producing drugs and medications from 8 organizations working in this industry in UAE. Okay, the size of study sample was applied on 47 of managers. Those jobs are related to and responsible for innovation, R&D, and HRM. Just officers and managers, because they are more capable to answer about that questionnaire. Okay. Now, conclusions. Training and development explains just only this function, explains 44.5 of the variance in the perceived innovations. Approximately 45% is related to training. Just training explains 45%. Employees engagement, 34.8. If we go to the collective impact put together, the analysis showed when we put together in the analysis of SPSS, there is a very strong or high positive effect, approximately 70%. Just for 2 functions in human resource management, how they are producing innovations. Training, and be careful about training, professional training, not any training sessions. Now, the field study revealed that change organizational culture have a crucial role in the accepting concepts and importance of innovations. Time's up. Finish. Just 1 slide. Last one, in addition, results are indicated that there is an impact of incremental innovation with the statistical significant at 95% on radical innovation. And we showed that the difference between both. And here the managerial applications and recommendations. You can read it from the source if you want. It's there in the Hamdan University. Any question?
Yes. We say that the most important thing is education, but why they didn't prioritize it?
Okay. We said the first or the most important thing to apply is education. Why it's not why they didn't prioritize it?
We are using education to serve other sectors. Training, engagement, maybe performance, my client is the correct function. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Ahmed Sameh. Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Sameh.
Hello, yes, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, yes, I can hear you now very well. Thank you very much. I would like to introduce Dr. Sameh, who is going to present with another two co-authors, Professor Abdullah Al-Masri and Professor Nahla Mashouk. He's going to talk to us on open oncology respiratory at Prince Sultan University with emphasis on software maintenance. For those who don't understand oncology, it is has to do with cancer. And respiratory is lungs, the way we breathe. Okay? Professor Sameh, the floor is for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Right, good afternoon, everybody. Right, I'm sending my greetings here from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And today, I would like actually to talk a bit about some technical issue in software development and maintenance, and the relationship between this one, and the title of the conference is we are introducing some innovation in both software development and software maintenance. We want to produce a better quality software, and at the same time, we want to have a better management of software development and maintenance. The ideas that actually are introduced here are based on ontology, and we want to, as you can see from the first line of the slide here, we want to empower software with ontology to establish do I have control on the slides here, or I don't have control on the slides?
Doctor, please, next. You have control.
Okay. Okay. Hello? Yes, I got it now. Okay. So what we have over here, as I just said, we want to empower, software developers, and software maintenance people, by introducing ontologies that they can use, to have a rich development environment. The repository that we are building at Prince Sultan is an open repository, and means people can download ontologies, and can add to them, extend them, and can also use some search engines, who are called ontology search engines, on the internet. Very famous ones, it's called Swaggle and Watson, and these actually introduce internet ontologies, or ontologies that are developed by other people to be used in during the development of software maintenance. Now, ontologies are stored.
Dr. Ahmed, I cannot hear you. Can you speak louder, please? Or bring the microphone close to your mouth, please.
Yes. Can you hear me better now?
Yes, now
you hear me better now? Okay. Now the ontologies that we are building, as a matter of fact, has started with 12 domains, of ontology, and the definition of the ontology, as you can see at the bottom of this slide, is formal specification of a particular domain. And this formal specification means abstract representation of the domain, and it is explicit, as you can see, explicit specification. Explicit means it's machine readable, and understandable. It is in a specific programming language, XML or OWL. And also, right, the word shared, right, means based on consensus, right, from of the many people, right, who actually uses ontology. Ontology, right, actually has a formal language. So these are, as a matter of fact, you can see on my slides, right, have XML language, right, UML language, RDF, and OWL. And they actually allow reasoning. So you can see here the basic ones are just without reasoning, and the ones that actually advanced are having reasoning. Now, so what do you do with them? As you can see, and so we have again on the x-axis, we have one axis for divider here, between the one without reasoning and the one with reasoning. Ontologies actually are different categories, and you can see many differences between an ontology and the database. The database represent the data, whereas ontologies focus on the meaning, semantic. If you remember, the web started without semantic, and when you add ontology to the web, it becomes semantic web. That means that it has meanings, and this is really what you use it for, You try actually to make sense of the domain of the application. Now, why this is important to developers? It is important to developers, because developers can use it, for reuse, and knowledge sharing between different stakeholders, of the software, and also knowledge sharing between layers of the software. So this is all actually just different explanation of ontology, and there's many repositories. As I mentioned, MIT has one, and W3C also has one, and there is search engines that search for ontologies that, as I said, the Watson and Swaggle. And what you do, as a matter of fact, you bring the ontology and incubate it inside your software development environment. Incubator means you put the ontology in the software development environment by importing it, and now you have a very rich environment, as a matter of fact, that help you in a better software development. This is the innovations that actually we mean to refer to. Here I'm just showing
Professor Sameh, we still have a problem of voice, please. Can you... There is an echo in your voice.
Hello? Yeah, there is echo in the voice, so I can actually put the mic a little bit to distance from me. Is this better now?
Yes.
Is this better now?
Please.
Okay. So the issue is we have for example, this is a biomedical ontology repository that has ontologies for biomedical research, and people who actually develop software for biomedical can actually log into this repository and can access the different ontologies. Ontologies interact with each other. I mean, they don't stand alone. There is one ontology can refer to another ontology, and this, as a matter of fact, the more ontologies you import into the software development environment that you have, the more power for innovation that you can have. Now, I'll give you a few examples of the applications that we developed. We developed an e-assessment system that actually has different layers of assessment at the course level, at the program level, at the college level, and then at the institution level. Those layers or levels actually of assessment actually can be integrated and can actually be shared between different different stakeholders in order to make the integration of management of the documents of the different artifacts, right, of assessment, right, linked together. So there is, as I said here, integration management. If you can see, right, very little writing here, but basically, right, in this domain, we have developed, right, an accreditation subsystem that link together, right, many accreditation documents, rubrics, grades, assessment tools, right, together in order actually, right, to build a better assessment system. So it integrates, right, at this layers, right, of the course and the program, the college, right, and the institution. It was successful implementation, and the experience, as a matter of fact, right, that we had during our ABIT accreditation, we developed the system. As you can see, right, there is long range cycle and short-term cycle and interaction between many documents and surveys, and we did experience, right, actually a good appreciation of the developers of the rich world of information, right, that they are getting by using the ontology. We have another application, right, in a smart home and a smartphone. Both of these, right, we were looking at preserving, right, energy consumption, and you can see, right, many devices, right, are in the home, or many components in the smartphone, right, that consume energy, and by knowledge sharing, right, we are not really conserving energy at specific layers alone. So you can see here, right, these are the layers, right, that make up the system, and there is many algorithms, right, that actually optimize power consumption at a specific layer. So there is algorithm at the network layer, algorithm at the operating system layer, algorithms at the application layer. Ontology allow you to do cross-reference, right? So you do optimization not layer by layer, but actually, right, you share the information across the layers, and you understand, right, how the different layers, right, use opportunities, right, to optimize, right, energy and minimize energy. That again, right, was very successful actually, right, application that again we did two of them, one on a smart home and another one, right, on a smartphone power consumption. Here is a smart home one. Ontology, as you can see here, right, nodes, right, represent noun attributes. So that's basically, right, you can see in the picture. If you are not familiar, right, with ontology, it is a kind of data structure, a graph, right, that represent links, right, and relationship, right, between artifacts. And this is good for the programmer, because the programmer, right, will know, right, actually certain variables or certain attributes, how it is related to other attributes, right, and what is the relationship between them. So this helps the programmer who is not familiar with the domain, right, of what are the specific domain knowledge, right, that he is not aware of. And this is the new things that we are talking about, which is the innovation. Innovation means you don't want a programmer that is not domain, right, knowledgeable. You want him, right, to understand the domain, right, a little bit more. Here is again, right, different colors, right, actually for the OWL. OWL is a programming language. It's like XML, right, programming language, right, to represent these are the components, right, inside the smartphone, right, from the hardware to the operating system and application. And as we all know, in our smartphone, right, power consumption is a big issue, because, right, the battery does not last, right, for a long time. You want to preserve the energy and minimize, as a matter of fact, the consumption. And by developing, right, actually a cross-layer, right, preserving techniques using the ontology, right, things, right, will be much better. In this is UML, right, diagram again, right, to show you different layers, right, and I'm going to skip, right, details here. The next application is software maintenance, right? As you all know, right, software maintenance, right, is much more important than development, right, because every company, right, have a flagship product, and they want to maintain it, right, and make it, right, always, right, competitor. And in order, right, to apply, right, techniques, right, for software maintenance, we introduced scoping. when a company comes with many change requests to upgrade their flagship product, they want to group them together, and that's called scoping. And we used ontology, as a matter of fact, to introduce scoping, which was not really introduced before in software maintenance ontology. So this is an existing software maintenance ontology that does not have scoping. We introduced scoping to it by, as a matter of fact, adding a scoping in the right place. And as you can see here at the bottom, here is the scoping, and it was added to a well-known software maintenance ontology. So we are not only introducing the ontologies, but we're also extending some of the existing ontology by putting some extensions to them. And again, you can see here, you see we're adding the scoping to this particular. And it was, as a matter of fact, as I said again, interesting application developer that was successful in reducing the cost of software maintenance, reducing the cycle of producing new versions and new releases, and compared to traditional development method or maintenance methods, it was actually proven to be successful. The next one, application in Twitter, we did actually sentimental analysis and emotion analysis, and we actually got lots of stream of tweets from Twitter. We used what they call fire hose link to twitter.com. We bring all these tweets and we use them in training in order.
Mr. Sameh, I'm sorry, but time is over and we have other speakers.
Sure. I'll conclude.
Okay, please.
Okay, so the technical issues here, actually are a little bit, actually too much, but I want to, actually to move, we did something in risk and we did something in Internet of Things, and most of the applications that we tried, conclude, that incubating the ontologies into the software development or maintenance environment bring a rich domain-specific knowledge to the developer, so that he will use or reuse knowledge and make sharing across layers and across different stakeholders to have a better quality software and better actually management and maintenance of existing software. I thank you very much, and sorry actually for the technical sound, and the quality, of the transmission.
Thank you very much, Professor Sameh. It is quite a sophisticated project, I think, and I'm sorry, I read it oncology, but it's ontology in the beginning. I apologize but it's ontology. It has nothing to do with oncology. I thank you very much and wish you all the best. Do we have any questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Now I introduce Engineer Osama Hammoud, who is going to talk about the best solution for the industrial purchasing.
Where's the slide? Where with the slide? Okay. Anyone? Thank you. Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Osama Hamoud, and I am here to present one paper regarding the procurement department, the difficulties and the problems that they are facing every day. In all of the companies around the world, there is always a procurement department, and the procurement department all the time have a lot of a problem that they are facing, and all other departments, finance department, other project department, most of the time they are complaining that procurement department, they are not doing their work on time. They are saying they are delay in purchasing, delay, or they cannot get the right prices, or they also complain about the quality of the material. And they complain also that the quotation that the procurement department bring on the budget stage, it's not accurate. There is a problem on that one also. So there is a problems in two stages, in execution level in the companies and in the budgeting level. So one of the solutions have been said that the procurement department in the company can depend on the internet, on the website, to find solutions for this problem. But if we explore the internet, we will find two types of websites. There is websites like social and professional network, which is like LinkedIn or Facebook, or let's say mainly these both is the main. Through these websites or network, you can market your product. You can introduce yourself to the other companies, but most of the time the purpose of that one is the social networking, or most of the time it will go for recruitment. The other type of the website is the retail market, such as Alibaba, such as Souq or Amazon. Most of these websites, or all of these websites actually, concentrate on selling for the retail. It is websites for the supplier only. They will offer their product, it's ready product, and it's manufactured, and it's simple products where all the population can go inside this website and purchase. But for procurement department, they cannot use or get use from this website. Why? Usually, procurement department in the industrial sector in general, they will not request in their projects ready material or just simple material, such as what's shown in the retail markets, in the website for the retail market, like Souq or Amazon. They will not request only to purchase one iPad, for example, or one mobile. There is usually customized material to be part of the production. This is one issue. The second issue, sometimes the procurement department, they don't want to purchase, but at the end of the year they are requesting from them to submit quotation in order to enter it in the budget, and they have from 1 month maximum, in the best case 3 months, to prepare this budget. So both type of websites don't solve the issue. There is no free market on the internet to solve this matter for the procurement department. Our question here, is there website especially for procurement department to solve this problem? Not software, websites actually. What we need actually is professional network specialized only for procurement department, where exactly to generate quotation, and it doesn't depend on the supplier monopoly, and it's not even for supply. These websites, is there a website like this? No, we cannot find. Yes, and on the other hand, most of the supplier which controlling the website. So we have to depend more in the demand side, not the supplying side. This is my idea regarding this website. It's a specialized website for the procurement department. We are creating demand, not supply. We are not allowing to supply. We are posting demand only. Website where you can just post your inquiry about specific material, goods or services, and just receive the reply from the supplier only. No one allowed to post in this website unless he's inquiring about material or goods or service, whatever. And the supplier will not be allowed to participate in this website unless they are replying to this specific inquiry only. In the same time, it's an interactive website. That means it's such as it have walls, such as LinkedIn or Facebook. This property will give this website the property of a free market. No one can control the reply of the supplier, and no one can control the price and the quality. And it will be international, so no one can manipulate the client or the procurement department. So they will receive the reply from everywhere. Anyone can read this one, and he can provide this goods or service. He can reply to our procurement department. By this way, we will break the monopoly. I think we will ensure that the best quality of the material can be offered, and also the best price, and what's most important also as well, the term of payment and the condition of the purchasing process. And in the same time, the problem of delivery is under negotiation. So the idea that there is a lot of suppliers will reply, and they have contacts with they will contact or the customer or the procurement department. He will contact them, and he conduct the deal. In many companies, they are purchasing from the foreign market or from the local markets. Delivery itself is not a problem. And this website, you will not sign the deal here. It is the initial pricing and the initial contact. But here, it's a starter for a real deal, that you can find the accurate description of your material without any manipulation or rough prices, even in quotation time or on the budgeting time or in the actual purchasing. By this website, we will solve most of our procurement department and all around the world. Here I'm talking about the procedure. The website have to be simple, but in the same time have to be distributed by countries. And there will be walls, free walls for the client or for the procurement department in every country, or the procurement department can decide to choose to post their inquiry international to receive reply from everyone. That depends on what type of material and from where they want to purchase. The second option, that they have to choose the type of the material. Is it goods or service? Is it hiring? Is it steel? Is it wood? It will be listed in this website that he can choose. After that, he can choose the country or the international, and just post his inquiry and just receive the reply from all the suppliers. Yes, okay. I think the procedure is very simple. I want to say by this website, as much as you reveal your information about your company and about yourself, even if you are a client or procurement department or a supplier, you will market yourself, and everyone will get benefit from this site. And in the same time, you will free and the market, and you will break all the monopoly, and you can go international. You can, as a supplier, expand your selling and expand your profit from this website. We can connect everywhere. As I mentioned, if for the supplier and for the purchaser, this will be good, and it's very simple procedure. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes.
It's a very innovative idea, by the way. Somebody who is not presenting to us a research is presenting a new idea to be implemented. So if we partner with him, maybe it will be good.
Yes.
Just I have a question. Let us apply it. You are, for example, you represent the
a company and you enter through the website. You demand something, and I'm the one who will reply to you.
Exactly. If
For
you are a
example,
supplier?
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
a supplier and the one. So, for example, you are a company. You have to, for example, I know your number, your phone number, your email, everything, so I can contact you. So,
Yes.
do you think that it will not allow people to go and do the same thing that you are? So, if I know your phone number, your things, I can contact you and tell you, for example, the
But-
people who are working there.
Yes.
I can chase them. I can tell them I will give you a little bit of money, just buy from me. You
Yes.
understand?
You
So-
can. Yes. Yes. I understand. This is yes. Yes. This is.
So it will happen the same
This
thing.
kind of illegal, actually.
Yeah, illegal.
But anywhere you.
How can you stop this? Still.
Actually, this is brief about my presentation. And if you want to be more authenticated to participate in this website, you can authenticate yourself more by engaging two users in this website, the general manager and the procurement manager.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Yes.
So-
Plus, if you post more information about your company, all the supplier will trust you. This is the main idea. And or you will gain more trust in the market. But if you can post anonymous inquiry. Maybe you will get result or a reply, or maybe the supplier will prefer not to answer to
Just
anonymous.
to try at the beginning, so maybe after
Yeah.
that we can.
Yes, exactly. Thank you so much. Actually, it's just an idea, and I have one note that the innovation is something and the creativity is something. We have to support both of them, because if we support innovation and we didn't support the creativity will suffer at the end.
But inshallah you will persist. And there is a saying in Arabic, ومدمن الطرق بالأبواب أن يلج. Now, let me introduce to you Asma Khater and Najla Al-Sayyid. Saeed or Sayyid? Sayyid. They are learners at Hamdan bin Mohammed Smart University. They are still doing their bachelor's, but mashallah, they have chosen today to present a project on analyzing the generic complaints at Dubai consumer on Twitter. My God, this is a very good topic, you know. People complain on Twitter. So let's encourage them. Welcome them first, and let's come first. Wait, listen, Najla. Asma Najla, I want you to be relaxed and speak as if you are speaking to your family, your friends.
Okay.
Do not be tense. Just relax.
Okay, good evening everyone. I am Asma Khalar, my colleague Najla Al-Hadi. We are undergraduate learners. We did this paper as a part of one of the course's requirements, but because of some encouragement to participate, we decided to present it. Let's start with my colleague Najla.
Yes, good evening everyone. Our topic is about analyzing the general complaint at Dubai Consumer on Twitter. This study is to discuss and explain the importance of some of quality tools and techniques in analyzing the complaint. The tools is check sheet and Pareto diagram and fishbone diagram, and those very effective tools, and it helps us a lot in analyzing the complaint. The objective of this study is to show the importance of the implementing and using of those three tools in handling with the general complaint. As we know that the Dubai Consumer Protection Division is a part of Economic Development Department. It's responsible for ensure commitment of both consumer and traders to the law of consumer protection, and facilitate procedures to research for settlement between traders and consumer, as well as to promote consumer rights and commitment to fair trade practices in Dubai, and assisting consumers to resolve disputes with the traders and collect complaints and about unfair trading practices and conduct investigation, and also regulate the business activities. Now my colleague Asma will continue.
For the methodology part, we observe the tweets in Dubai Consumer account on Twitter. We divided the observed period between us. It takes around 4 days. We observed the period from January 2015 till February 2016. We found that the total complaints is around 182. Then we analyzed the data based on three quality tools. For the findings, the first tool that we used was the check sheet. We found that the counterfeit products occupies the first place with a frequency of 69. For Pareto diagram, we used the Excel. As it shows you that the counterfeit product occupies the first place with a huge difference. In the second place is the selling banned items, followed by high prices. Both of them have the same frequency, and so on. We brainstormed, we tried to collect some possible causes that may lead to this issue. We found that from people's point of view, from different perspectives. From the seller perspective, they're always looking for high return and the desire for rapid growth. From the consumer perspective, they always want to save their money because of their awareness. In the equipment part, some of the countries have lack of testing laboratories. Also in the method part, because today we have technology. Anyone can start his or her own business. So the customers will be exposed more to face counterfeit products. And it is very difficult to distinguish between the real product and the fake product. From the environment perspective, some countries have lack of regulations, and because the awareness campaigns are ineffective. From the materials, the fake products, the materials are always easy to obtain and help in reducing the cost. For the counterfeit products, these are actually counterfeit products. It's only a category, and under this category there are a lot of complaints, from clothes and bags at the first place. In the second place comes the watches. The third place, mobile phones. For selling banned items, it's almost similar from the causes. The same reasons in the people, that the sellers always looking for high return, the desire for rapid growth, because as long as this item is banned, that means that the seller can control the price. So he can raise the prices and then gain high profit. The method is also the same. Electronic is in everywhere. Management, because of the lack of observers. From the environment, also because of the awareness. And here are the complaints. It shows you based on the period that we found these complaints in.
The third problem is about the high prices. The fishbone, when we apply fishbone diagram, we found that the external factor that lead to this issue is about when the citizen has increasement their income, then the seller immediately they increase their prices. Also, the population is growth, especially in Dubai. That's why they encourage the seller to increase their prices. For people perspective, there some people are willing to buy regardless of the price, and also the lack of awareness. of them. And some people, when they found there is difference in prices in two locations, they didn't even take an action or made a complaint. From management perspective, there is manipulations in demand and supply, which means that some of traders they put their product in store and they waiting for some period to display it. Also, the oil prices is affect the increasing prices of product. From environment perspective, for busy holiday season in Dubai, because we found here that the frequencies of rising prices is different from July and January, because in July the majority of people they are planning to go to their vacation. That's why the seller is increasing their prices, because they are sure that the people they are willing and they need this product. And in January also the service prices is increased, such as in hotels and prices, because in January we know that the winter season, and most of people come from outside UAE to enjoy the weather and these things, and that's why some people is increasing their prices. To recap all of this, we found that each quality tools has provided us with different value, since each of them has different interpretation. And for example, when we use a check sheet, we can register all the components in category, and to determine their component in terms of their frequencies. And for the cause and effect diagram, based on information that we acquired from check sheet, we apply this cause and effect diagram to address the root causes of complaint. And by using Pareto diagram, we can apply this to guide and identify the major complaint that an insignificant one. The managers and people in Dubai Consumer Protection can apply those three tools in their analyzing their complaints, and it must show their commitment and to provide support and training for their employee to better apply these tools. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this presentation. It's also very innovative and very clear that you are helping actually the economy of Dubai by highlighting certain points. We are proud of you at Hamdan Mohammed Smart University, that you are having innovative ideas and you are brave enough to present them to us. So any questions?
Just not a question, but I learned some tools today. Thank you so much.
Asma and Najla, do you share what you have got from your analysis with the Consumer Protection Association?
Actually, we are planning to contact with them and to give them our result and finding, and we are waiting for a response. Thank you.
Thank you. PhD scholars. And I do believe that corporate social responsibility is very significant to the development of any economy. So I was thinking of why not universities? Okay, you know, higher education has been proven to be to have a direct link between the well-being of nations and the quality and impact of their higher education institutions. And this was in the report by UNESCO during the World Conference on Higher Education Partners, June 2003. So social responsibility is a principle should apply to all organizations, whereby responsibility converges partly or entirely urgent social needs. Universities should be case in point. Hamdan Mohammed Smart University endeavors towards an education. Oh, this is, sorry. I made another presentation. So, CSR in developing countries, you know, is more needed than in developed countries. Corporate social responsibility is more important and significant. You know why? Because there is a need. There are poor people. Yes. Little information is available on non-profit effects of universities on social and education system in the Arab world. I have tried to find something on corporate social responsibility by universities in the Arab world, and very little. So today I would like to start an examination of social responsibility of universities in UAE with a view to reflecting on the roles and missions of higher education institutions in the Arab societies in general and assessing the changes taking place in these societies. CSR is defined within a comprehensive approach and applied to university as a social institution. You know, universities are not supposed to be like corporations because by default they should be socially responsible. A university cannot be but responsible towards society. So according to Bounds, corporate social responsibility is based on two principles. The social contracts, because whatever you do it to society. So there is a social contract at the macro level, and the moral commitment at the micro level. Although many subsequent works and interpretations have elaborated on the concept, it is still largely ambiguous. Ambiguity of social responsibility usually comes from the meaning of the words, theoretical, ideological. I want to tell you that, you know, in our faith, Islam, social responsibility, where does it come from? From inside. From inside. You shouldn't, you know, Islam is different in that there is a state and there are rules, but usually commitment comes from inside the individual. Certain things that we do are imposed by the state, but the majority should come from inside. So we don't have ambiguity as Muslims, I believe, because ذكروني بالأحاديث إتقان العمل من عمل عملا فليتقنه إن الله يحب فليتقنه. So it means that it's clear. You cannot. It means that you have to do it best. Corporate social responsibility, as I said, semantic ambiguity in certain languages, whether it's theoretical, ideological, you know, for the socialist system is different from the capitalist system. Maybe the individualist system, like in states, it's based on capital investment. So corporate social responsibility for them is not important. Profit is important. I will give you the example of Walmart. Walmart do not have social corporate responsibility They have good product, low cost, and choice. And for them, this is the goal. Yes, it's a strategy. Corporate social responsibility. In UAE, there are some challenges facing the transfer of know-how. Because as universities, I mean, there is institutional challenges. The university is huddled up on itself because it used to be, although we claim that we are open to society, we're still universities, you know. We are working on our own. There are financial challenges also. Transfer of know-how requires multiple financial and material resources, which is not always available to all universities. Professional insertion. Success of the university is measured. Ability to facilitate the integration of graduates in job market and to develop entrepreneurial spirit among young graduates. Difficulty to secure jobs that match their qualification. Slow action. Low interest in promoting entrepreneurial spirit. Sorry. So these are the universities try to do social responsibility through these elements, but still these remain challenges. Main function is to train and educate people and not to develop professional insertion mechanism. You know, this is a challenge for universities, is that we go to conferences, we say certain things that the reality is not. You know, we train people, we train them according to the curriculum that we have and the teaching method that we have, but there is no real mechanism to insert them into the market or to train them to become entrepreneurs. I know His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President of UAE and Prime Minister and ruler of Dubai, has actually has instructed the Ministry of Higher Education to include a new course which is called Innovation and Entrepreneurship. But the reality is that this is a very important course. It is now implemented in all universities. Still, I think universities are not yet ready to implement it. Hamdan Mohammed University has recently attached special importance to professional insertion by setting up necessary mechanism, building relations with companies. We have started actually now our learners, we call them learners by the way, not students. Our learners, they are assessed by potential employers in the market. If they are doing business administration, for example, well, the examiner's jury will be from the market, so that we know whether our outcomes are up to standard of inserting students, learners to the market or not. There is also little responsibility towards certain disadvantaged group. By disadvantaged group, you know, I think women is not a problem in UAE because they have now the ability to, they have access to higher education without problems. Maybe certain measures are still linked to women more than men because of certain cultural values. Well, but still, there are certain things, you know, certain disadvantaged category of people. I want to tell you the reality, the low achievers. When you see the mark for admission now is 70, and I am sure Sharjah University prides itself that every university is priding itself that the admission is being tougher. But what about the rest, you know? These are disadvantaged groups, you know, that universities are doing nothing to allow them social mobility. System of credit transfer. What I found sometimes also that universities do not pay attention to their social responsibility. Somebody who is working in the market, like this gentleman that we saw. You know, if he comes to register in a university, what they will ask him to do? He has to study, and he has to do also internship. Internship is practical training when he is working. I have come across these cases when I was vice president at Amir Ajman University, and they felt always sorry but unable to do much. Physically challenged people also, you know, when we admit one or universities admit one or two, they feel proud of them, so they present them as example. But the reality, there is very few universities have a policy for admitting physically challenged people. Alhamdulillah, in UAE, I think at the national level, I mean, UAE academics and learners, when this national service was declared, I think they brought themselves as volunteers, and for them, the national cause is always come first, and they have no challenge. Employment, as you know, in UAE, the young people are privileged, and even low skilled, they can find jobs easily. UAE universities or government universities provide transportation, housing, and I think all facilities. The universities also in UAE have the big advantage of we are in a very stable country politically. It's a model actually, so we should pay back the UAE society as universities. I want to identify the stages of education. You know, His Highness Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, may Allah have mercy on him, he was the one who started UAE University in Al Ain. That was, I think, that was in 1977. Then I think the second stage started. Since then, till 1988, there was no other university. In 1988, you know, the Higher Colleges of Technology was established, and the Ajman University College of Science and Technology was established. Then, you know, in the 90s, the late 90s, the private universities have increased, and only in 2001, because of that increase, this Ministry of Higher Education established the Commission for Academic Accreditation, and this is part of the university, the state to protect the people, because in the beginning, universities were operating without clear standards. What we need is a development of a national foundation. And if the UAE harness to set up a good modern university, these are the stages. Concerning the language, as you know, and it's unfortunate somehow that we speak a foreign language, while Arabic is national language. And most universities are not doing much to develop the Arabic language. I wonder why there is, for example, a TOEFL, and there is IELTS, but no standard for Arabic. At least those lawyers and those journalists who are studying in Arabic should have a minimum required level of the language. Also, responsibility towards the environment. I'm glad when I was at Ajman University of Science and Technology, I introduced a required course for the study of environment. I want to tell you this story why. Because I attended a conference in France, in Cannes. You know, Cannes is known for the movie, but they had a conference on water. And by attending those conferences some 4 years, I learned that 3 million children are dying because of lack of potable water, drinkable water. 3 million. So I was aware from that time I changed my behavior. And in order for our students to change behavior, we have to tell them, we have to teach them. So I introduced a required course on environment. And now many universities are offering actually degrees in environment. Among them, Hamdan bin Mohammed Smart University, I think Sharjah University, and other universities. We offer a course in excellence in environment management. But these courses, you know, are for professionals. What we should do is that we should try to change the behavior as universities. Universities in UAE have much more to work in terms of their corporate social responsibility. Some work is urgent, but the problem is not only a lack of determination, but rather a problem of parameters to measure social corporate responsibility. I'm sure that, you know, the standards, you are aware of standards, CE standards. There is actually, there are 11 standards to get licensure and accreditation. Standard number 11 is on community engagement. This is what they call social responsibility. And every faculty member, I think your appraisal depends on your community engagement. The truth of the matter is that it's not clear-cut. What do you do in community engagement? They say the budget is not there also for community. Volunteering work, yes, but it's not measured. There are, when it comes to teaching, you know, you have outcomes, you have a clear system how to do it. When it comes to research, it's clear. When it comes to community engagement, it's vague. So we'd rather, I think, require from the CE to make for us also clear-cut standards for community engagement. Thank you very much. Yes.
As they graduate, it's a requirement that they do some volunteering before they join any company, but let's say me. It becomes very attractive for employers. I think many things are done very well in the UAE, I think.
Yes, in the UAE, but I was in the Arab world, we still have a problem, you know. In the UAE is a good example, as I said, because of stability, because of the leadership is good. We are not UAE nationals, but we have to admit that this is a good country.